next is the question. We know about the grand plans for the future with the financial backing now and the calibre of manager that they're going to want to attract in the future to get them where they want to go. But right now, Lee, in terms of who comes in next, let's make no bones about it. They're 19th in the Premier League. They're staring at a relegation fight right now. So do they therefore need a manager who's been in that position before? For now,
it's a good question because I think they've got to. This year, I said this a few weeks back. Well, a few weeks back when there was talk and obviously Brucey was labelled to possibly go. Is that I just feel that they have to get this right. You can talk about all the marquee signings all you want. The players that have been bandied around. They have to get this right, and that's why I feel that if they don't, I don't feel that they need to get someone in that's going to keep them. I think that they need to build for the next 4 or 5 seasons. So it's pointless getting a manager in and going, because let's be honest, Brucey could probably keep him up. You know what I mean? If he's been given the resources come January, he could probably do that. But I just think that they've got to get someone in right now who's going to have that plan to take this club forward, because, yes, they've got the funds to do it in the transfer window. But who goes in there? Like you say, it's a job that's borderline relegation battle. A squad that's bang average, as Millsy said. And then you've got to try and attract players. But I think the only way they're going to attract players is by bringing a big manager that's proven and that can bring them players in and attract them players.
You know what, Jules? It has to be a proven manager. Where they are in at that moment, you can have all this money. Newcastle can't spend any money till January. They still got 2 or 3 months. Look where they are at this precise moment in the league. You have to bring a proven manager who's ready to come in straight away and work with that squad. I know they got Graham Jones there taking manager, but surely if Steve Bruce is gone now, you've got someone coming in before Newcastle's next game without a shadow of a doubt. I know Jones knows the players, and he might can say, "Oh, we'll give him a game." They go to Crystal Palace on the weekend. It's a huge game. They need to win. They need to beat Crystal Palace. They are struggling at this precise moment, because you can say you've got all the money in the world, and I totally get that. But if you're a championship team, what players are going to want to come and play championship football? That's not being disrespectful to the championship. Premier League is the best league in the world for me. Everyone wants to play in the Premier League. So first and foremost, they have to appoint the right manager, and then Newcastle can kick on. And they have to stay in the Premier League. That's the big one.
Well, will it be one of these? Here's the list the bookmakers have at the moment. There is a clear favourite for the job at the moment. It's Paulo Fonseca, former Shakhtar and Roma boss. He's odds on now, 8-13. Then you've got Lucien Favre, formerly of Dortmund, 6-1. And Eddie Howe, of course, has been out of work for some time now at 15-2. The top 2 names there, Sue, most recently were managing at Roma and Dortmund. Are they going to want to come into a relegation battle in the Premier League?
I think that's the thing, is that you've got to get a manager, like what Clinton said, he's got to have experience. He's got to be... The first and foremost, they've got to keep them in the league. They have to make sure that they're not relegated. Then it's a manager that can build. So as Newcastle are developing and building, they need to also do that. You look at Fonseca and, the way that he plays, that high pressing, that attacking style football. I just wondered, do you go out and get a real sort of statement signing? Somebody like Conte would be amazing, whether that would happen. But, somebody like that...
But he can't transform those players.
No.
That's the biggest problem. I think they've got 2 projects right now. They've got an 18-month project to stabilise the football club and get them to sort of just above mid-table. And then the problem is that probably manager gets the sack, and then they bring somebody else in, a bigger name, that stellar name that we're all thinking about, we're all talking about, and then start to bring in big players. Because the only way players are going to go there for the moment are for ridiculous wages. That's the only way.
Who would you have on that list, though?
None of them.
None of them. No, I think Stevie G would be good, but I don't think he'd leave.
But why would he take it?
I don't think he'd leave Rangers at this point. But I think he's done a brilliant, good job there.
Frank did a fantastic job at Chelsea, but it's too much of a risk at the moment. You need somebody to come in, stabilise the football club for the next 18 months. It's a long-term project. And I've said the only manager out there that could throw a team together in January is Mourinho. If you gave him 8 players, because that's probably what Newcastle need, 8 top-class players, could put them together in January and get them to mid-table, and then next year maybe have a little bit of a go at maybe finishing 6. I don't think, it was controversial, but there's no other manager out there that can build a squad as quickly as he can if you give him the money. But, you're talking 8 players, probably close to £1 billion he's going to have to spend to get them anywhere near
This is a potential banana skin, really, when you look at it. On the face of everything, you put everything together in a nutshell. And to be fair, it could go one way or the other, couldn't it? It really could. It's like you say, we can talk all day about what managers are going to come in, who's going to stabilise the football club, what players can they bring in, but They're sitting in a relegation.
It's the same with players, Lee, though, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
You've got to bring in players for the next 18 months. Those players are not going to be the same players that get you out of this situation, that get you into the top four. So how are you going to attract those players that go to Newcastle at the moment? And unless you're a top sign, you'll go, well, I'm here for 18 months and then I'm getting booted out, because they're going to start bringing other players in. And that's a difficult situation for Newcastle.
I guarantee they'll bring a marquee signing in Jan.
More than one.
Well, I think they'll bring a marquee signing in who's not quite done it somewhere, and they'll think that's going to solve the problem. This isn't going to solve the problem at Newcastle at the moment, and that's why they've been in this situation for so long. And that's why I say to you, you can't just go and buy a massive player and expect him to get the fans off their seats and it's going to turn a corner for him. It's not going to be. This is a process where, like Millsy said, they've got to stabilise the football club and stay in the league. That is their high importance for me. It should be top of their list. So how do they go about it?
Yeah, for me, I'm still going. I think Steven Gerrard. Rangers fans, don't shout at me. Don't shout at me. But I think the job he's done at this precise moment at Rangers.
Would he take it?
That's the problem. That's
would he take it? Would he take it?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't. Maybe not at this precise moment he wouldn't take it. But I think he's a young manager. He's improving. He's done a brilliant job at Rangers. So why not? Why not go and get someone? But why would you be a fool? Because it's a huge football club.
I know it is.
If you're a manager and Newcastle United ring you up and say with the backing they've got and you see the project and the plan done, but you're not going to say no. I'm not going to take that job.
If you win one of the next 5-6 games and you're in the bottom 3 come the new year and a little bit adrift, that's very, very difficult to get yourself out of that situation.
It'd be stupid to come to a job like that. That's my view. At the end of the day, he goes and wins the league again. His credentials are getting higher and higher. I know it's up in Scotland and people say it's not quite. It's not nowhere near the Premier League. But I'm saying, he's building himself.
Of course he waits. Maybe he waits, but we had to pick someone from that list. And you three didn't.
You could say no.
Because there's no one on there that we can pick.
OK.
Well, I think one name that Danny mentioned was Jose Mourinho, and for the record, he's spoken before about his affection to Newcastle and Sir Bobby Robson, who of course he had such a bond with. But he's spoken this evening and said he's not going to Newcastle, and of course he's only just started at Roma anyway, so it won't be Mourinho, I think.